The region of West Asia, home to diverse cultures, ancient civilizations, and strategic resources, has been marred by conflict for decades. Today, we're breaking down the complex factors that have led to war in this region. From historical rivalries to modern geopolitical struggles, this video will help you understand the core reasons behind the violence in West Asia. To truly understand the current wars in West Asia, we need to look back at history. For centuries, West Asia was ruled by the Ottoman Empire, which maintained a level of stability through centralized governance. But when the empire collapsed after World War I, European powers, particularly Britain and France, stepped in to divide the region. Through agreements like the Sykes-Picot Agreement of 1916, the region was carved up into new nations with borders that often ignored ethnic and religious divisions. This arbitrary partitioning sowed the seeds for future conflicts. Then, in 1948, the establishment of Israel on land previously inhabited by Palestinians set off decades of conflict. The displacement of Palestinians and the ongoing territorial disputes between Israelis and Palestinians have been a central issue in West Asia's instability ever since. But the region's conflicts aren't just political, they're deeply rooted in religious and sectarian divides as well. The schism between Sunni and Shia Muslims, which dates back to the 7th century, still shapes modern geopolitics. In West Asia, this Sunni-Shia divide is most evident in the rivalry between two major powers, Iran, a predominantly Shia nation, and Saudi Arabia, a Sunni-majority kingdom. Both countries have used their influence to back opposing sides in conflicts across the region, especially in places like Syria and Yemen, turning local disputes into proxy wars. In Yemen, for example, the conflict between the government, backed by Saudi Arabia, and the Houthi rebels, supported by Iran, has caused a humanitarian crisis. Similarly, in Syria, Iran has supported the Assad regime, while Saudi Arabia has backed various rebel groups, contributing to the devastation of the Syrian civil war. West Asia's wars have been further complicated by foreign intervention. Global superpowers have long sought to influence the region due to its strategic location and vast oil reserves. The 2003 US invasion of Iraq, justified by claims of weapons of mass destruction, is one of the most significant examples of foreign interference. The invasion led to the toppling of Saddam Hussein's regime, but it also plunged Iraq into chaos, creating a power vacuum that fueled sectarian violence and allowed extremist groups like ISIS to rise. Similarly, Russia's involvement in Syria, supporting the Assad regime, has prolonged the country's brutal civil war. These interventions often escalate conflicts, making peace harder to achieve. One of the most tragic consequences of instability in West Asia has been the rise of extremist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. These groups exploit the chaos in war-torn countries to gain control and impose their ideologies through violence. In places like Iraq and Syria, ISIS has not only terrorized local populations but has also contributed to a refugee crisis that has displaced millions. The fight against ISIS, involving both local and international forces, has further complicated the region's conflicts. West Asia holds nearly half of the world's proven oil reserves, making it a vital region for global energy markets. This has drawn the attention of not only regional powers but also international ones. Countries like the United States have long had strategic interests in maintaining stability in West Asia to ensure the flow of oil, which has often meant supporting authoritarian regimes like Saudi Arabia's or intervening militarily when those interests are threatened. So, what's next for West Asia? Despite the ongoing wars, efforts for peace continue. Diplomacy, international aid, and rebuilding efforts are ongoing, but they face immense challenges due to the deep-rooted nature of the conflicts and the many different actors involved. Ultimately, a lasting peace in West Asia will require addressing not just the immediate political grievances, but also the historical, religious, and geopolitical factors that have kept the region in conflict for so long. The wars in West Asia are a product of a complex web of history, religion, geopolitics, and resources. While the path to peace is fraught with challenges, understanding these factors is crucial for anyone who wants to grasp the realities of the region. Let's hope that, with continued efforts, a more peaceful future can be achieved for the millions of people affected by these conflicts.